CryptoSLO, cryptocurrency news and investing.
CryptoSLO with more crypto gains. What's going on tonight, guys? Well, you know, if you've been watching the markets, it's a sad, sad, sad day. This stuff just keeps getting hit, and our portfolios are just looking like a big pile of crap. You know, what are you gonna do? So, looking at the 6-month, you know, we dropped way down. We actually dropped into the 5,000s there for a while, 58.26 to be exact. If you zoom in, you can see some bot trading here, or some big buys when it was exactly at its lowest point. This is all computer driven, probably by HFTs and big dogs. And you just keep asking the question, when will it all end? When will the bloodletting end? Well, really it comes down to basic economics, and I've actually got a pretty good idea of what's going on here. I don't know if you watched any videos by Ray Dalio. He is a mutual fund billionaire, and he's got some really, really good videos on how the economy works, and you really much can project that into anything that has a market where there's supply, demand, and credit. So let's take a look at what's happening with the crypto cycle. All right, the crypto cycle. And the reality is this is basic economics. And we can look at different parts of what's happened. And you have to kind of view crypto as from a market standpoint, because the reality is a lot of these coins are not really solving a lot of problems besides the payment problem. They talk about how they're going to revolutionize the world and how they're going to do this. But we have to step back and keep an open mind that we're just looking at this from a speculative point of view. If you remember last November, everybody and their mother was talking crypto. Grandma was even buying Bitcoin. And this is kind of what you can look at as your leveraging point. So basically, actually, let me go ahead and blow this up so that we can see this in full screen. Okay, now looking at a little more in depth into the crypto cycle. Like I said, this is kind of the basic economics derived from Ray Dalio and some of the leading economic people in the world. And kind of think of the time of, you know, say starting around October. This was your, quote, period of leveraging. And what do I mean by leveraging? Leveraging is, imagine you could apply it to anything. Let's say that you're making furniture, and all of a sudden everybody wants furniture. But the reality is people will realize that other people are making money making the furniture. So all of a sudden everyone in the world starts buying equipment to make furniture and hiring people to make furniture. Well, the same thing happened in the crypto market. So everyone and their mother was like, dude, I need to build a miner. A 1080 Ti is making $10 or $11 a day. People, Coinbase, in how they introduced credit, and people were able to use their credit cards. So all of a sudden, you were able to buy speculative investments with your credit card. So during this leveraging phase, everyone was maxing their credit and their ability to create crypto, and also buying it, mining it, building miners, buying cloud mining contracts selling. I mean, I remember seeing videos about people that sold everything they owned so that they could buy Bitcoin. And this was kind of the leveraging phase. And you almost can kind of think of it as FOMO, because everybody, really, if you think about it, everyone was sold on ROI. Whenever you looked at a new coin, looked at a miner, looked at anything, there was always a promise of return on investment. And actually, this is an important fact, because I kind of use this as a red flag now when I'm looking at new cryptos, especially the boom in the masternodes that, they're going to have 8 gazillion percent return on investment. And the reality is the crypto market has moved so quickly that, I mean, we saw what happened with the Genesis mining contracts. The coin forked, then all of a sudden you're making 500 a month. Now you're making $1 a day. So you really can't, in my opinion, and this is kind of an investment tip moving forward, any coin that claims an ROI of X months, or I would say now anything that's an ROI that takes longer than 4 months, it's probably not a good investment, because you don't know what's going to happen in 4 months. So we're in this leveraging phase, we're booming, we're Lamboing, we're making all this money, and then kind of all of a sudden we come to this point where everyone and their mother has got miners. I mean, I'm seeing people on Craigslist with racks of these things, and I'm like, where in the hell are people getting the money to buy all this stuff? It's because everyone was leveraged. So when everyone is leveraged, it gets to the point where they no longer have any more fiat. I get so sick of seeing these videos where people are like, oh, everything's cheap, buy it, and it's like, just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's a good investment. I always come back to that. And another analogy would be a lemonade stand. A lemonade stand's making all this money. So then all of a sudden everyone says, hey, I'll sell you the system of setting up a lemonade stand. And before you know it, there's 20 lemonade stands on the block. What happens? Well, it gets more competitive. Now all of a sudden there's way too much lemonade. And think of that same concept with what's happening with cryptocurrency right now. We started with this batch of people. I know it's been claimed that it's 1 to 2%. So if you put 100 people in a room, 1 or 2 people would own crypto. So it's kind of an analogy of when you think of the adoption rate. Some have claimed up to 5%, but I really don't believe it's 5% yet. It's probably more like 1 or 2%. So now you get to this point where Bitcoin is crashing. Well, think about all the coins. I mean, a lot of these coins have millions and millions and millions of supplies. There's a couple things with the market there. Number one, in order for a coin, this is a totally different video, to sustain a price based on the market and proof of work algorithm, it's an equation. Difficulty, proof of work, hash rate. There has to be enough hash to support that. And, from the standpoint, now, once again, I'm only talking the speculative value of coins. I know that as we move forward, these coins will start to solve real problems, and they will break away from the trend of how all these cryptos are connected. I'm definitely convinced that's going to happen. But here we are at the top. Everyone's got million bags of coins. I've got millions of coins myself. And now all of a sudden there's a huge oversupply. People were mining just to be mining to print with nice hash. You got to think nice hash is kind of the doom of crypto too, because it centralizes the efficiency of the market, and people are literally just, they are mining and they're selling. They're mining and they're selling, and they're getting back to fiat. So it's kind of like a depreciating cycle. So here we are at the top with all these big bags. And, I know a lot of people are trying to predict the price of Bitcoin, but it's like you really don't know what the bottom is. They say the bottom is the cost to produce a Bitcoin, and there's actually been some good articles on that. But here's something to think about. The bottom really is the prices have to go below the cost of production. So the only way the lemonade stands are going to go out, let's say they cost $5 a day to run your lemonade stand. Now all of a sudden you're only selling $4 lemonade. You're minus $1. Well, a lot of the stands will try to continue selling lemonade with the hopes that the market's going to turn around, i.e. people keep holding their bags of coins hoping the market's going to turn around. Well, the problem with that is you don't know what the bottom is. Nobody knows what the bottom is. And like I said, things change so quickly. One thing's for certain. If you sell, you lose. That's the bottom line, regardless of how much fiat currency you've lost or gained. If you sell, you will probably lose at this moment. So what's going to happen when those lemonade stands have all these things going on? There has to be a liquidation of lemonade stands. Now, all of a sudden, 10 lemonade, it would be one thing if just one lemonade stand was for sale. Now, all of a sudden, 10 lemonade stands are for sale, i.e. people's mining rigs. The mining rig, I think it was really bad. It was really bad. Let's look at it right now in the depressed state, what we're getting right now on a 1080. Let's see, 110.80. Okay, let's see what we got. $1.51. I definitely would say that is the lowest I've seen a 1080 Ti go in a long time. So back to our crypto cycle. So two problems. It's not enough. So basically you have to start this deleveraging process, and the only way the deleveraging process starts is if the profits of the lemonade go below what it costs to produce the lemonade. Well, you're probably going to have to sustain that for some period of time, because this is the squeeze. This is where people get squeezed. You know, people's credit is maxed out, or their cash savings is maxed out. They're like, I am not investing another penny. And now all of a sudden they're like, I got to get out. The problem is, you know, like think of a Lamborghini. It's worth a lot of money. You sell it, you get a lot of money. But if everybody's selling a Lamborghini, it's not going to be worth much. So once this deleveraging begins, the price to produce these coins and mine these coins, the profits are below the market value. We get this deleveraging process. Now, how long does this deleveraging process take? It can depend on what the situation is and how fast the squeeze happens. So people start selling their equipment. You're going to see cards on Craigslist. You're going to see fire sales on mining equipment where, you know, someone goes bankrupt and they got 1,000 cards, and, you know, keep your eye out for this kind of stuff. Now, once this deleveraging happens, and repeat, the economy cannot go back into the increase in value until deleveraging occurs. Repeat, it cannot go back up until deleveraging occurs. And that means some projects being abandoned, people selling their mining equipment, and people liquidating their coins, and the transfer of wealth becomes where someone else buys someone else's coins at a deflated value. And now, once this deleveraging happens and the market starts to balance again, we will start to see the inflation. And by then, I think a lot of these coins are going to be solving problems, and the value is going to go up. So it's not a matter of if the value is going to go up, and it's a matter of when the value is going to go up. You just have to be patient. And once again, as I tell anyone that's interested in crypto and the technology, is it's here to stay. The speculative value stuff is going to go all over the place, but we're going to see this crypto cycle go and repeat. And it has. The crypto cycle has repeated. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's see. See, there's mini cycles in here with these crashes that you can't see, and it's happened, and it's happening, and it will continue to happen. So what is the takeaway from all this? The takeaway is, once again, the coins are not going to go back up until the deleveraging phase occurs, and that's just economics. So with that being said, should you sell your coins? I would say absolutely not. There will be a lot of people that sell their coins, and once again, those are the people that are deleveraging, and they may just wipe their hands of it, and then 2 years from now they'll be like, oh my gosh, I had 50,000 Raven and I sold it and it's $10 a coin. I could have had $500,000. It could happen. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. Stay positive, keep making content, smash that like and sub, and stay in the crypto game, because it's here to stay. This is CryptoSLO. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.